What's up? What's up? Happy Monday! Coming in live for the breakfast show. Oh my goodness, I'm super pumped up. I'm super fired up. Super jacked up for this morning's episode. So we're going to talk about something that I just got done doing like a little course on. And it's about cell activation in the body. And it's literally absolutely mind-blowing, and we're going to talk about it this morning because I just got done with it and I'm like, hey, I need to go live and I need to share this, and it's going to help a lot of people who are struggling right now with not only weight loss but keeping the muscle mass. Holy crap, man, these people who are losing weight and it's just deteriorating their muscles is absolutely mind-blowing. So here's the deal, a little bit about the background. We are right now on the breakfast episode. We're actually gonna make a recipe this morning, so I highly recommend that you hang out. If you're brand new, you've never come across this, even if you end up catching this on the replay, say hello so that I can welcome you to the community. Say new. Like, I have a group, let me tell you, like the support group that I have that people are a part of, they win. Doing things by yourself, setting goals by yourself, when you actually have people that are like, this is freaking hard, you are so much more compatible to show up and to follow through than if you're doing this alone. So say that you're new in the comments. We are live, it's 10:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. So I'm on the East Coast, I'm in Michigan. You know what, I'm a hot mess express. Usually you're guaranteed an episode between 8:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't really know what's going on with me. I have a massive team of people that I help, and I forgot to create the content for the week, so I started doing that. Then I started doing my nails, and it's like, okay, Michelle, get your crap together. So now I'm making chicken in the air fryer. When I come in from the market, I just take it. Well, I did Instacart. I take it out while I'm doing something, I cook it and bake it, I put it in containers and I have it on the fly. So otherwise, by the time I go to eat, it takes forever to make something, then I end up gorging, then I can never get full and it's a total tragedy. So the breakfast show evolved from me being 180 pounds, walking into a doctor's appointment, getting a clean bill of health, like literally, Michelle, nothing's wrong with you. Your hormones are amazing. We did hormone checks for 5 days in a row because I was determined it was my hormones. We did thyroid check on the spot and everything ended up coming back as a clean bill of health. So I've got two options that I had to outweigh at the doctor. My doctor wrote me a prescription for metformin, which is a drug to treat prediabetes, but I was not a pre-diabetic, or I could go dive into what so many people had recommended, a book called The Obesity Fix, AKA Dr. James. He's got millions of followers. He's an absolute legend. So I ended up, hello Carlene, getting the book, The Obesity Fix, and I pressed play on the way home. I've never looked back. Like literally, I cannot even explain to you how much I learned just from that book, and every time there's a book that comes up as a recommendation, I press play on it. So yes, I am now the person that's listened to 40 plus Audible books. I stopped counting at 40. We stopped counting the breakfast show episodes at 365. So I'm super pumped up. I'm super fired up to share with you this morning cell activation, to introduce you to a brand new app that's going to give you clarity, literally, around, hey, what are we putting into our bodies? What is the foods? What is, okay, there's toxins, dyes, there's carcinogens. I never knew that. I didn't even know it was allowed. So I'm going to share with you today, when I go to the grocery store, exactly what I buy and how one protein versus another protein can actually be hurting you instead of helping you. I think it's going to be a pretty good morning if you ask me. So let's go ahead and dive in. After I implemented the 3 things that, yes, I'm going to give to you today, and hopefully you share it with someone, I literally dropped 30 pounds in 5 months and I have sustained it. Now, holy crap, continuing on and doing this with adding cell activation, I went from 180 to now, gosh, 132 pounds, which I never thought would ever happen. So I'm going to share that exact roadmap with you. I have 450,000 followers because it works. There is no other way. You don't have to go off and get shots. You don't have to get supplements. So let's dive in and let's talk about the things, and let me give you some clarity around some trending topics, but not just clarity, a why behind it, because there's going to be times you're going to get off this and you're going to be pumped up and fired up. But tomorrow you might wake up and you might feel a little bit different. Every single day is a different day, right? Some days we can show up such a happy, healthy, energetic human being, and then some days it's like, today's like just a little bit different. So I'm gonna give you a why behind these three things so that when it gets hard, you show up regardless. So let's dive in and let's talk about what I'm holding right now, which is water, and talk about the actual purpose of water. So water, okay, I want you to think of the term liposuction. Liposuction is when you go to a doctor and you literally have plastic surgery done. The term was created by your body. You don't have to pay for plastic surgery. You literally do not have to pay for plastic surgery. Your body goes through a fat burning process for free. It's called lipolysis. Isn't that funny that we have liposuction and lipolysis? What do you think ever came first in the world? Lipolysis. And it's a process the body has to run through, and the system is having half of your weight in ounces of water. So when we statistically look at people, 75% of us this morning are walking around chronically dehydrated. The number one sign of dehydration is not only constant hunger, it is literally 150% that you seriously have zero energy. Hi, Jackie. Zero energy. None. 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 So why don't we up our water? But how much is it? How much water is it? And that water intake is half of your current weight in ounces of water each and every day. And again, 75% of people are actually getting that right this second. Okay? It didn't come through. Okay, so here's the deal. With water, it's half of your weight, but we don't stop there. Most people drink coffee. Do you add up those ounces? The only reason I ask why is because it's a diuretic, so it actually dehydrates you. What about pop? There's some people that drink pop, okay? That dehydrates you. There's some people who drink alcohol that dehydrates you. So how many ounces of those things are you adding up, okay? On top of half of your current weight. I was adding stuff like this. I don't like water, so then I started asking this in my water. I bought this because it said organic on it. I bought this because it says natural on it. This is infested with toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. Infested. So let me tell you something. If you're gonna enhance your water, here's an app for you. I'm gonna tell you right now in the comments if you've never heard of the app, YUKA. Just type in the comments right now, I love you. So I can keep showing up and come live and share with you what I'm teaching. YUKA, I can scan it right now on my phone, okay, literally. And it tells me toxins, dyes, and carcinogens are inside of this. And it gives me a recommendation. So maybe you're like me. Maybe you've added in enhancers, you've added Mio, you've added Crystal Light, any of these kind of things. Literally, here's the deal. There's toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. It signals the body to raise cortisol levels, okay? It signals to raise glucose levels. When your body is doing that, cell activation is turned off. End of discussion, period. Your food is supposed to come in. Your food is seriously supposed to be stored as energy or used as energy. You're supposed to feel like me, and instead it's just storing it as fat, okay? Literally, store it as fat. So here's the deal, okay? When storing as fat, sorry, I got a message from someone that I had to answer back. Okay, so when storing something as fat, here's what we need to understand. We have fat pockets infested every single place in our body. With my water today, do you want to know how delicious this is? Today I have cucumbers. Shirley loves me. I have cucumbers in here. Yesterday I had grapes. Maybe you want blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, watermelon. Stop putting crap in your water. Put a little bit of some honey. Put a little bit of some real maple syrup. But none of this junk that causes toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. We do not want to have heart disease. We do not want to have cancer. We want cell activation turned on fire. Okay? Protein or water intake is how you burn fat. You have 365 days to burn fat. Tell me in the comments how many times you're going to burn fat this year. Right now, with your water, set a timer. If you don't have a timer set right now, I can guarantee you with certainty you will not reach your goal. You guys, how do you live in a life where you're drinking water every 120 minutes? Our body is never supposed to go without water. What about when you're sleeping? That's the circadian rhythm. That's why we have a circadian rhythm. When you're sleeping, the body doesn't need to have the water for 120 minutes. So set the timer for 90 minutes, stop, drop in literally for 15 seconds count, drink water. Maybe you need to do room temperature. I don't like freezing cold water. Maybe you're like, it hurts my teeth. Maybe you're like, I don't like it. Maybe you're not thirsty. Chew a piece of gum. It'll quench your thirst. Set the timer. And right now, I want you to write the word water on something. I want you to put it next to your bed or put it on your phone. And every single day when you wake up, the first thing you see is water. Drink it before the coffee. That's all I ask. I'm not asking you to give up coffee. I'm not asking you to give up pop. I'm not asking you. I'm just saying it's half of your weight in ounces of water each and every day. Okay, so water is the answer for burning fat. If you don't understand the equation, I need you to tell me in the comment section. That's water. For your carbonated water, that can count. It has to be Yucca approved. It cannot be the ice water from Costco. The pink, green, yellow, like those are infested with toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. They cause autoimmune disorders. It causes high A1C. It leads to weight gain. It tells you right in the Yucca app. So you're gonna be aware. Drop a 1 in the comments if you learned something new already. So that's the water component. If you have brain fog, you guys, the pollutions from these foods have affected the nitric oxide in your body. The free radicals in our food system, which is allowed, has affected the nitric oxide in your body. Your nitric oxide already declines. I'll tell you what it is. Literally, every single year as you age, it declines. It goes down and down and down and down and down. Now listen to this because you're about to faint. Okay? Nitric oxide is what pumps blood through the vessels. Do you want to have blood pumping everywhere in the vessels? Do you want it to be everywhere? Like literally fire burning on the dance floor. Okay? Do you? Do you want that? Then you have to make sure that you're careful with the amount of toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. Does it mean you have to be perfect every day of the week? No, but moderation is something that we don't really practice anymore. So let me tell you this. The second thing around it is if you have free radicals and pollutions and toxins and dyes in any of the foods when you start scanning, I want you to follow Gary Brecka. Gary Brecka, if you think I'm inspiring, you just found yourself a new catch because not only is he a super good looking man, he talks a lot about hydrogen water. He talks a lot about literally 150%. He talks about what hydrogen water does. I need you to drop a 1 if you have brain fog. If you could get rid of brain fog right now today, would you want to know? If you can get rid of headaches or hormones, if you could get rid of headaches from hormones or headaches from just having headaches, or if you could decrease your blood pressure. If you could decrease your blood pressure, if you could also have better performance and recovery in the gym, would you want to know how? Here's the how. We have to start removing, use the YUKA app, add hydrogen into the body for the time being. Get your blood rushing to every area in the body again. I have people who have Raynaud's syndrome, right? Their fingers turn, they get all cold, the blood doesn't flow to them. I'm like, here, look at this. Here you go. Take this. They take it and literally they come knocking on my door. Why? Because it improved. Their blood flow improved. When your blood flow improves, you see a decrease in what? You see a decrease in literally, try email. You see a decrease in your blood pressure decreases. You see an improvement to performance and recovery in the gym. You are no longer fatigued ever again in your entire life of living. And you will notice also that your headaches get better. When you go buy your hydrogen water today, yes, you can go buy, someone's gonna try to sell you a water tank. You don't need that. You're gonna see at TJ Maxx now today. When you're shopping this week, little tablets, don't do the pills. You don't do a tablet. Hydrogen needs to be crystallized, okay? When you look at the first ingredient inside of it, the most that you find, did you know the first ingredient listed on anything is what you find the most of? The last ingredient is what you find the least of? Your first ingredient up there should be hydrogen, okay? This right here, there's a video. I want you to see cell activation through nitro. Drop the word nitro in the comments. I'm going to introduce you to the expert. There's science behind this. There's clinicals behind this. There's third-party validation and there's cleanliness, meaning what you see on this label, you get, okay? So if you want, you can claim a whole pack right now. It's 30 days money back guaranteed. Grab a bag, use it, and if your life does not transform, you return it. That's what I do in every area of my life now. okay? Every area in my life, that's what I do, okay? So I'll just let them know that we don't need to gain access. Yes, I'm in, but not Insta Live. Okay, so here's the deal with that. With the nitro, you have to send me a direct message, okay? Right here, say the word nitro, I'll send you the video. If you want it, I pinned it right here this morning. They only have 3 flavors in stock, okay? So they have a black cherry, grape, lemon, lime. Never mix water with your nitro. Ice. Never, ever, ever. It'll deactivate the hydrogen molecules. This is molecular, okay? So the breakfastshow.net, when you click on the term new wave, you'll see what is called nitro. Nitro, okay? You'll see it there. So I will message you personally with my phone number, because if you ever try to call in, you are literally going to be on the phone for, I don't know, an hour, because things are constantly in stock and out of stock. And I'm going to teach you about cell activation today. And for anyone who's insulin sensitivity, I'm going to teach you how to cell activate and biohack that entire area. Okay. So number 2 is the water. We talked about fiber. Fiber should never fall below 25 grams. 25 grams of fiber, we never want it to fall below that ever, ever, ever in our entire life of living. Okay, 25 grams up to 40 grams, too much of a good thing will actually back you up. Too much of a good thing will actually cause bloating and inflammation. I tell you this because I'm kind of that person. You start telling me to drink water and then maybe I'll drink too much. So with your fiber, 10 grams of fiber is in 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. One cup of berries is 8 grams of fiber. And so blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, 1 cup of greens and leafy greens and broccoli is 7 grams of fiber. I use Carbo Not bread. I'll put in the comments for you. I'll cover that surely in a second. Carbo Not bread has 15 grams of fiber, okay, inside of 40 calories. And it is Yucca approved. So I put the term in the comments for you, literally. So 15 grams of fiber, 40 calories. It's a piece of bread, and yes, it is YUKA approved. You will absolutely love it. It is so delicious. I'd rather just have that and be on my way. But again, if you want to do any of the other sources, do them, okay? So with your fiber, there's 2 types of fiber. There's insoluble and soluble fiber. And here's the cool thing about fiber, okay? Fiber is the only thing in the entire world, so it's the only thing in the entire world that can actually swell to the depth of your intestinal tract. So let's talk about your intestinal tract, okay? Your intestinal tract looks a lot like your gums. Look at your gums really quick, or look at mine. Your intestinal tract looks a lot like that, okay? And inside of your intestinal tract, it should be pink, and there shouldn't be any little black spots on it. So I went in, I had a lot of bloating and inflammation, to the point where I couldn't deal with it anymore. Ended up going to a naturopath doctor. She's like, Michelle, let's just go down there with the camera, put you to sleep and see what's up. Guys, I was deficit in fiber. I started adding this to my water. This has toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. So if you're anything like me, and you're the person that's literally like shaping up your behavior, and you're like, why am I not getting results? What are you adding to your food? Because again, this has toxins, this has dyes, this has carcinogens inside of it. And with this, you can scan it in the app that I just gave you for free. I can scan it. Okay, there's 7 additives. Oh my gosh, is there an alternative? It'll be at the bottom. So this is not good. This even has aspartame. This even has yellow 6 coloring. This even causes, guess what? When you have toxins, dyes, and carcinogens, your cell activation is completely turned off. That is a complete depression session. We need it turned on. We need it turned up, okay? So do not be supplementing. Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever heard of Metamucil. I'm curious if you've ever heard of Metamucil. Drop a 1 in the comment section for me, okay? So that's the fiber component. With your fiber, it's the only thing that swells. So I want you to think of a hose. The hose is kinked. The water is not going all the way through. When you use fiber every day, I want you to unkink the hose and now it's pouring through. It is what takes toxins that are inside of the intestinal tract and literally swells it. Okay, because think about it. If you had pizza yesterday, do you think all that pizza went through your body? If yesterday you had a bunch of Snickers bars or you had French fries, do you think all that food just flew through your body? Hi, Laura. It didn't. if you didn't get the proper fiber. It didn't if you didn't get 7,500 steps. It didn't if you didn't get half of your weight in ounces of water, right? That all makes perfect sense now. It's like, oh, okay. So that's the kind of stuff that we need to realize is like, why do we have the inflammation? Drop a 1 if you have inflammation. Drop a 1 if you have bloating. Irregular bowel movements. You don't go number 2 every day. And drop a 1 if you have foul smelling gas that's like bad, or like I said, the weird noises going on. In 72 hours, you can completely change that. In 72 hours. So can you go right now to Google? Can you go search right now, like, how can I physically, literally get to 25 grams of fiber minimum? How can I track this every single day? Because where there is a will, there is a way. 1, I have used it until the doctor told me not to. Yeah, I'm surprised the doctor even told you that. The other day I was in a freaking physical with the doctor and this lady's complaining about her health and all this stuff. And I'm like, hey doc, why don't you ask how much water she's drinking? Why don't you ask what her protein intake's at? Why don't you ask her what her activity is like? All you want to do is give someone a freaking pill. And that's not the answer. It's not the answer anymore. The answer is proper cell activation, protein without the additives. Most people are using bars. We're going to make right now ice cream. What protein powder are you using? What protein bar are you using? If you put it in the comments, I can use my app right now to see if it has toxins, dyes, or carcinogens. Okay? So we have to be careful. With the fiber, you'll notice within 3 days, you'll see irregular bowel movements improve. You'll see the inflammation, the bloating. You'll see all of that get better. I love making dessert in the evenings. I'm going to freeze this into like a cookie, whatever I want. It is so freaking delicious. I'm going to tell you right now, you and I are going to have some fun together. Okay? There's a bar from Costco. Their bars are clean. It's amazing. I never would have guessed that in a million years. I was using one that wasn't clean. The Yucca Help app is helping me. Laura, wait. Laura, what positive changes are you seeing and feeling? That's the fiber component. Fiber is what increases the GLP-1 hormone. It's so expensive to get that hormone tested. The GLP-1 increases by fiber. The GLP-1 decreases, which we don't want, by toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. Isn't that insane? But I can guarantee you today, your toothpaste, your mouthwash, your soap, your shampoo and conditioner has all of those things inside of it. I can guarantee. Isn't that insane? And what happens is it's like rubbing in your bloodstream. It's a direct correlation to why I had skin cancer. Mine exactly, every product I used, every makeup product, literally, was carcinogenic. So go get that app, okay? So your fiber is the second thing. The third thing is, okay, your protein, which I'm gonna teach you right now, good sources of protein, okay? Good sources of protein. If you go to the market, how do you buy a Greek yogurt? You're like, yeah, I know Greek yogurt's good. Yeah, I know cottage cheese is good. But how do you physically pick the brand that you pick? Because let me tell you something. When I go to the store, I was just there yesterday. And when I was at the market yesterday, I walked up to the aisle that had the cottage cheese, and there were 4 different brands of cottage cheese. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Used to be like, this one's on sale, I'm gonna get it. And I went there and I pulled up the cottage cheese, and the first thing I did was my hack, where you delete the last number of calories. So if there's 70 calories, just cover your finger right over that last number. Like, goodbye. Okay, I'm left with 7. That number I'm left with tells me there should be 7 grams of protein. Okay, protein in big bowl, 13. That's not the only step. The second step is to get out the app, YUKA, and to scan this. Is it a good rating? Is it in green? If it's poor, like the other 4 brands that were in the store just yesterday, there was only one that wasn't a poor rating, and it was this one. There was toxins, dyes, and additives that increased A1C, increased your chances of heart disease, carcinogenic. If I didn't know to use that app, I would literally be clueless. I'd literally still be struggling every single day with my weight. Every single day. So I want to encourage you to do that. If you just learned something new about the YUKA app, drop a 1. I feel like I owe you money because you opened my eyes. Hey Laura, feel free to send it. I'm just kidding. I threw away so many products, right? So here's the deal. Like literally, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware of what's allowed and what's not allowed. okay? So that's the protein. Your protein should be your desirable weight. So right now, if you go, okay, I want you to go into Google. Just hear me out for 1 second. We're gonna go to Google. We're gonna type in our desirable weight. So for example, your number is not gonna be the same as mine, but I would put 5 foot 7 inch female desirable weight. Boom, 129 to 150. That 150 pounds turns into grams of protein. When I reach my goal weight, I can go for the lower number, the 129, but I need 150 grams of protein. 150 grams of protein is 600 calories. 150 grams of fat is 1,350 calories. What in the actual? Whoa. So I'm going to tell you right now that it is possible to get your desirable weight in grams of protein. You burn 30% more calories, you improve your frickin' muscle tone, and you also go through the feelings of fullness and satiety. The food noise decreases. The GLP-1 hormone increases. So I promise you, where there is a will, don't get stressed out right now. I didn't know any of this. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get frustrated. Get frickin' fascinated. The only thing I would ever tell anyone, do you guys see what Maria is asking? Is there supplements to help cell activation? Yes. The only one I would ever tell every human, I would shake them until they're like blue and black in the face. I'd be like, hey, listen, collagen. You guys, osteoporosis, decline. Hair, skin, nails, joints, muscles, wrinkles, skin's elasticity, and the gut. So it makes up for so much. It's so freaking important. Okay? It needs to be a type 2. If you're not aware, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't know there were 5 types of collagen. It took me 20 collagens to actually get the proper one. Literally, 20 collagens. Laura's taking $75 worth of makeup back today. It's poor rated. How sad is that? I mean, yes, it's amazing that we have freedom, but it's not amazing that no one talks about it. That every single day we have the stupidest crap on the news, but we don't have the fact that you need to scan your foods to make sure there's not anything in them. You'll find it in Whole Foods. You'll find it in organic. So be aware. And it's so sad this is happening. But it's okay because you came across the Breakfast Show. You now have the answers. So with your collagen, guys, the first ingredient listed on anything, it's what you find the most of. It should be type 2 collagen, period, end of discussion. If it's not a liquid, you're not absorbing, okay? If you're getting it from TJ Maxx or Home Goods or Marshalls, I'm telling you right now, it's not doing anything for you. I was there too. I've listened to 40 plus Audible books. I know good versus non-good. I've done my due diligence for you. I'm not here to beg, sell, or convince you on anything. I don't need to beg, sell, or convince you on anything. I could care less. But if you want medical grade, right here, a medical grade type 2 collagen, this has fenugreek to support the gut lining. This also has organic tremella mushroom, which mimics hyaluronic acid. I don't need to put that crap on my face. Go scan the hyaluronic acid with that app. This has 4 supplements in one. I taste the chocolate raspberry. So 4 supplements in one. It's a type 2 collagen, it's medical grade, it's got my fenugreek to support the gut lining, organic tremella mushroom, which mimics hyaluronic acid. That's why you saw my design for my crow's feet and my 11s. You saw my transformation story. And it has a fat burner that doesn't have caffeine. The Morosil fat burner, the only fat burner that does have a patent study. It's patented that 94% of people who use this for 12 weeks, oh my gosh, their visceral fat in the belly, their body fat percentage, their body composition, and the scale down. The 6% who didn't get results. Is that you on the other line telling me it's going to be you? They weren't consistent. Could you leave out a spoon to remind you? They gave up before the 12 weeks. Could you actually stick to something for 12 weeks? Drop the word slim in the comments. I'll introduce you to the expert. It's explained way better than I can explain it. The science, the clinicals, the third-party validation, and the cleanliness of that collagen. There's no soy, dairy, gluten, or caffeine. And if you want to snag a bottle right now, I can't even believe. Usually it's $89 full month supply. $69, it's yours today. for a full month supply. Drop Slim with the star. They'll ship it to your door before 1 p.m. today. That's the collagen I would recommend to every human being. Even in 84, my father-in-law, it's not too late. And that's the beauty of this, is it's not too late. Let's talk about cell activation. So let me show you an experiment that I'm in right now with one of my friends. Let me show you her. She was on the GLP shot. Okay, really crazy. The GLP shot, you guys, I'm not gonna sit here and give you any information about that or make claims. I'm not a doctor. I will tell you I've listened to 4+ Audible books on it. And I will tell you right now that it tricks your brain. It's literally tricking your brain that you have more of the GLP-1 hormone in your body, okay? Go to the doctors, they're gonna redo it weekly for you, they're gonna redo it bi-weekly for you. You have to continuously get it, it's not gonna stick, okay? So just do your homework, it's super easy. That's all you have to do. Once you do that, you'll be like, okay, here we go. She's the one right here, she was the one that was on the GLPs. She's down, I don't know, 75 pounds. I'll show you other pictures of her. Cell activation. Her cells, the short chain amino acids in her body, the peptides stop responding to insulin. Insulin is the #1 source of what takes our food and uses it as energy or stores it as energy. Okay? I've biohacked cell activation. As a group certified fitness instructor, I have literally worked with every single student who comes to my class that struggles with their weight to go, your cells need to be activated. And guess what? It's something you don't even do long term. It's something that you get off of, which is the beautiful thing. Look at her here. You guys, this can't be made up. She was gonna go on the GLP. Let me turn this up because this is like a depression session. You can't even see what I'm doing. Do you see this woman? Okay? I think that's all I have to say. It's not just her. Oh, my pictures are upstairs. There is a peptide known as Elevate. There are 3 stacks inside of this to get the cell activation to start working again. #1, you have something called tesofensin in the top tippy corner of this peptide. Tesofensin is what reduces the food noise within the body. So it's not as much as like you're going in starvation mode. It's more or less like it quiets it down. It also helps with the cravings for sugar and salt. The body and the palate does go through at first, even getting rid of toxins and dyes. It does go through a process of where it starts to crave those type of foods, okay? The third thing is it has Diaxa. Diaxa is for food and focus, okay, mood and focus. I used to be on something to help me focus, and I have now gotten off of that thing because of Diaxa. And the third thing is BCP157. I call it the beauty peptide. It's the evacuation of inflammation. You know, there was a person that I was working with that had really bad tendonitis in the knees, and they actually added BCP157 in, and the fluid that was all around there that was pressing the tendons all together to cause that pain released, and the tendonitis has improved. This specific stack is called Elevate. It was sold out. It is back in stock. This is what it looks like, and it has 3 in 1, but I think the most important thing is I want you to look right here. Do you see right here, medical grade? Do you see clinicals, third-party validation, and clean? And the only ingredients is exactly what I just told you. Do you see that there's Diaxa? There is also tesofensin and BCP157, and that is it. That is rare to find. This is what it looks like. I take this 30 minutes before my first meal. That's it. Okay, 30 minutes before. You take it for 2 months in a row, 1 month off. It's how the cells actually become activated, and then you give them a rest so that they can actually activate better instead of becoming resistant. Once you reach your goal, you completely get off of it. You don't wean off of it. As long as your regular food intake outweighs the toxins and dyes in our foods, you now have the YUKA app, you maintain your weight loss efforts. 750,000 has sold, so I guarantee that pretty much for you. If you drop the word Elevate in the comments, I will introduce you to the Elevate, the peptide expert. I've interviewed over 20 experts in the space. I think microbeads are a better absorption than injectables. What exactly is in that injectable, and is it a company that has the respect and the ethicalness to be telling you everything that's in that injectable? So I also want to tell you that if you don't have any type of binge eating component with you, you're not that type of person, I would actually put you on my bikini in a bottle, also known as Body. That's the peptide that I'd actually put you on, and that's this one right here. That has your 5-amino-1 So you have 5-amino-1, which increases the NAD plus within the body. And then also you have the Sloop 332. And that's an exercise mimicking effect at a cellular level. There's absolutely zero caffeine. There's absolutely zero soy, gluten, or additives. The 2 ingredients and the 3 ingredients is exactly what you get. So if you want that introduction to the video that I saw that explains it better than I can, drop the word elevate or body in the comments and I will send it to you. Right now, for a whole month supply, it runs you $189. You get it today for $169. It will ship before 1 p.m. Eastern. We will hopefully have you up and started on this before Easter Sunday. So drop Elevate in the comments with the star and I'll be more than happy to share that with you. The Elevate is back in stock. Something that's being gifted for you right now, actually that's gonna come with it, is a boost. And a boost is filled with a group of mushrooms and ashwagandha. So you have 2 gummies you would take midday, whatever you're feeling sluggish. This comes with your Elevate for free. You have it for free and you get it every month for free now going forward. Literally, even if you never buy a product again. So that's right now what's going on. So drop Elevate or drop Elevate with a star. I will send you that video. I put it right here this morning. If you go to thebreakfastshow.net, you'll see Nueva. When you click on Nueva, you will see that Snow Slim, which is the collagen we talked about. You'll see the body and you'll see the Elevate. Get yourself the signature set. The signature set is a 3-month supply. But we talked about how we take it 2 months on, 1 month off. So you have March, April. You don't take May. But what March, April, you don't take May, you have June. You don't order till July. My Body Peptide, you get the hydrogen water we talked about for free, $50 value. The Elevate, you get the boost for free, which we just talked about, $50 value. So you break down to be paying less per bottle. Everything is 30 days money back guaranteed. So I'd want you to empty the bottle and then send it back and I will actually do that for you, okay? So drop Elevate in the comments if you do want me to send you that video. Drop Body in the comments if you want me to send you that video, okay? That's the cell activation that these people are currently doing. I mean, I can't even keep up with the pictures. Let me show you some of them. If you want results like this, drop Elevate in the comments. Drop the word Elevate in the comments section. She's down 29 pounds, okay? Literally. She's 59 years old. Right here, I have a gal. You can see her. She's in her 50s. Right here, that was Shannon. Now this is Shannon, right? We also have, I mean, these just get sent to me on the daily, and I just save them. This is Nicole Hore, okay, right? She was on the GLP shot. We also have right here. So I think you get the point, right? So we've got my friend Cindy. There you go. So that's the cell activation. That's the special that's going on right now with that. You can still drink coffee. Jonas, that's a great question. It just has to be pesticide free. 9 out of 10 times, you guys, the coffee we're putting in our body is infested with pesticides. Okay, if you think of coffee and you think of roasted beans and you think of high compression heat, like a lot of people were using the CLA, which is in a different collagen, a fat burning collagen. CLA has seed oils inside of it. Never should you have seed oils in your diet. You might as well be adding Metamucil, you might as well be adding Mio and Crystal Light. That one little thing that you're doing could literally ruin all the rest of the things. Remember to get the YUKA app. I just use a nootropic blend. I was using Rise, but I wanted the clarity part of it, so I use nootropic. It's got L-theanine, it's got Ceylon cinnamon. Regular cinnamon elevates kidney levels, big no-no. And it also has the cordyceps lion's mane mushroom. So it's a no crash clarity Colombian brew that comes all the way over from Sicily. That's where my fat burner comes as well. Their climate is amazing. They have that blood red orange, and the blood red orange is what has the antioxidant Morosil inside of it, which is in my fat burning collagen. Does that make sense? Okay, so any questions, you can drop them below. Any health conditions that you do have, whether it's Hashimoto's or PCOS, cancer, gastric sleeve, any type of, I don't know, everything. I mean, I work with celiac disease. I work with people who are on blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of the side effects you're really looking at when you look at something that's made inside of a laboratory that's sourced to a certification of pharmaceutical grade. These are sourced, and it's the reason why they sell out. A lot of things are shipped into people's warehouses, and there's like rats and mice just running all around them because of the high stock. That's not the case when you're looking at the purity and eliteness of these supplements. So any questions, you can hop in my inbox. It's always open for you. We can talk about your health conditions, what you've tried, what you want. If I have a solution, awesome. If I don't have a solution, there's no big deal. If you can't afford it, there's a payment plan option. You can split it up into 4 or 6 payments. That would be something you'd have to message me about. So get in my inbox. I promise you to be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the breakfast show. I'm gonna wake up, go to the gym, I'm gonna fly home after taking Bella to school, and I'm gonna press play. I'm still making my dessert. You can hang out. I'm just gonna add a scoop of, I put a Greek yogurt inside of it. I'm gonna put, I don't know, do I need to put that? Another one? Because I'm gonna make this, I think I put too much ice. I am gonna put peanut butter because I kinda wanna make like a peanut butter ball. I'm only gonna do 1 tablespoon. I do think that I put too much ice, but that's okay. Did I use my tablespoon over here? Make sure the first ingredient listed in anything is what you find the most of. A big one that I find is the peanut butter. My #1 ingredient in my peanut butter when I was my heaviest was actually sugar. Sugar shouldn't even be in your peanut butter. If you look at this one from Costco, it literally says right on it, 1 and 1 thing only, okay? Dry roasted nuts. Okay, you probably can't even see that. But the first ingredient listed in anything you buy, it's what you find the most of. And the last ingredient is what you find the least of. So, I'm gonna put the lid on my handy dandy blender. I'm pretty sure I have too much ice. Should I add a scoop of protein powder or no? Maybe I need another yogurt. I can add chia seeds, I can add Ceylon cinnamon, I can add honey, I can add maple syrup. It's funny because I used to be the diet girl, so I used to diet all the time and use like diet this and sugar-free this, and now I'm completely opposite, right? It explains why every year I was putting weight on. I have to be very careful. My grandma was like 400 pounds when she passed away. And you know, a lot of people say it's genetics. I don't believe in that. Genetics is bad habits being carried on. The chapter in the book that I listened to this morning, because you know I've listened to 40+ Audible books, I'd love to share it with you. Listen to this. I think you'll like it. So I put a little snippet in here to always teach it, to give it to Bella. It talks about never skipping. The whole thing was about Mondays. I'm like, how funny is this that I'm reading this chapter on a Monday, right? And it talks about to never skip a Monday workout. A good tip for you is YouTube. You could do like a full body workout without weights or with weights, dumbbells. You can put it in there and it'll pop it up and you can follow along. Hi, Tasha. Monday sets the tone for your entire week. So the entire week, like your chances of showing up on a Monday for anything, whether it's protein, water, or fiber, are so much higher than if you statistically didn't do it. Commit to working out on Mondays, you'll dominate your week. And then the other thing that it also covered for the other part of the chapter is it talked about, which I found it kind of interesting, the old way of getting into shape was to eat low fat, which we just talked about. Eat low calorie, endless cardio. And the new way is to obviously eat high protein, and you know the sources to get, lift weights, walk, fueling your body, it says, is greater than starvation, right? So the ultimate guide to weight loss and eating healthy, again, check out the book, The Obesity Fix. It includes 21 keys to weight loss, 85 meal plans, 13 ways to combat sugar cravings, what foods to eat and foods to avoid, how much protein, fat, and carbs you should be eating, guide for workouts, what fats and oils to cook with and which to avoid, and a lot more. So that was what it was about. So I love you. Happy Monday. Get out there and crush. Any questions, if you come on for the replay, hop in my inbox. I got you, and have